is going through this shit as what we are. And we should stand together. But the whole of Europe should be standing together. But that man is going to unite the West. And that's what we need.
He's going to unite the West. He's made some sort of quite disparaging remarks about things like NATO.
Of course he has.
Is that...
NATO, yeah, I think I back him up there. There's people in NATO that are not spending the money they should do. You look at the size of the economy of Germany and what they spend. We've all got to start pulling our weight. That's what it is at the end of the day. Why should America do it?
I'm surprised to hear a pro-German rearmament position. Last time that happened wasn't so great. But
well, we're all cousins now. We've all got to stand together. We've all got a common enemy.
Who's the common enemy?
Islam.
There you have it, folks. Welcome to the UK, one of the most racist places on the planet. And we've been talking about the racist underbelly that lives in the UK, but people didn't seem to want to believe us. But now it's coming to light. If you don't know what's going on right now, there are mass riots going on. Rioting, looting, people acting crazy. It's not really that safe, depending on where you live, if your skin is a little bit too dark. Okay, be wary. But if you guys don't know how this all started, a 17-year-old committed what can only be described as an act of terror. 3 cases of murder, 10 cases of attempted murder, all of them being kids. Now again, he was only 17 years old, so we can't find a picture of him. The racists saw this as an opportunity to take their beloved Britain back. They conjured up the idea on the internet that this man was an African immigrant who happened to be Muslim. And you know those Muslims, gotta get them out of the country, right? But in reality, he was British born from Cardiff. And in fact, he was a Christian, but facts are just, that doesn't, who cares?
I mean, you're not English, are you?
Well, that's a question for my birth certificate, I think. So what would you say about someone like me who's mixed?
Stop where you are and not to come here.
So after this interview, I will be returning to Herefordshire.
People who aren't from the UK always ask me, why is it that people of colour from the UK never identify as British? Why are they always identifying as Indian or Caribbean in whatever sense, or African? Why are they never identifying as British? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, the overwhelming majority of us have a direct connection to wherever it is we call home. That's number 1. And number 2 is because of people like this. We know, you don't have to tell us. We already know how you feel. We know. This rhetoric is rhetoric that has been passed down through generations. The black folk who came here during the Windrush in the 60s and the late 50s, they were told this. So this was passed down to their kids. They made sure to tell their kids and made sure that their kids knew where they actually came from, because we will never be accepted in the UK.
Tell you what, right? We have no problem with mosques being built over here, so long as we can build mosques in Mecca. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I would love to see a mosque being built in Mecca.
IQ level not very high, is it?
All these people coming in from wherever, nobody wants them, costing us fortunes.
Do you think that immigration is a big problem in Ashfield?
Yeah, we never used to have anybody.
Not racist, but there's too many taking over us.
I don't think Ashfield has that much immigration from what we've been told, but do you feel like that's accurate?
Sometimes, yes. As I say, we're not racist, but sometimes you feel as if you're overcrowded with it, and you feel, let's say, for instance, you go to a car boot sale. There's definitely more people than us, more of them than us, that is for sure. And you feel a bit like you don't belong. You know what I mean? Like as if you're part of their life instead of them being part of our life.
When you say them, who are you referring to?
Well, foreigners.
When you say foreigners, do you mean, French people?
No, there's more.
No, I'm talking about, the darker, like, not all foreigners are bad. Like Polish people, they're cool. French, yeah, we love them. Germans, we love. talking about the dark ones. They're the ones that make us feel unsafe. It's not that we don't like foreigners. We don't like dark-skinned people.
Foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs, yeah, and not even working. And they're working.
They take our jobs if they're not working.
Because they do it. They do it. Simple as that.
Races come in all shapes and sizes. They do. Doesn't matter about your financial status. Doesn't matter about your race. Doesn't matter about your gender. Anybody can be racist. The people who are protesting against immigration or against illegal immigration are poor, dusty, and uneducated. Now, that doesn't mean racist people are poor, dusty, and uneducated. Just the ones who are protesting against immigration. Because they are all these three things, they're also angry. And because they're racist, they blame immigrants. The rich people who are racist, yeah, they might have the exact same feelings, but they're not upset with their lives. They actually like their lives, so they can't be that angry. So they might look at it from their villas and be like, oh, these foreigners sipping their martinis, they're cool. But these people are upset because they're poor. And instead of blaming the people who are actually responsible, which is the government, they're looking at the immigrants who come over from places that are destitute, no opportunities, no resources. They come to my country and they're doing better than me. They're all the doctors, they're the nurses, they're taking our jobs, mate. Gotta get back to the good old days, mate. You know what I'm saying? No blacks, no Irish, no dogs, mate. That's what we gotta go back to, right? These people are truly sad. I mean, look at the places they're robbing. They're robbing cafes. They're robbing Greg's. They're robbing sandwiches. Look at this. How down bad do you have to be to loot Crocs, brother? And that's not even a financial, that's mentally. You must be really dusty to be looting Crocs in the name of anti-illegal immigration. If you're poor, just say it, bro. We understand it. The economy's hard. But blaming us for your ineptitude? For your lack of ambition and drive? That's crazy.
How important an issue is immigration to you?
Well, I can't get a job. They come to this country and they just get a job just like that.
So when you apply, what do they say to you?
Well, I've got a criminal record. Assault.
Assault?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Well, I've been out of prison now 3 years now.
And so you blame immigrants rather than your criminal record?
Poor, uneducated, angry.
Why do you need to make it about skin colour?
I'm not making it about skin colour, but they're projecting the wrong image.
You rang up and said the reason you went on this protest is to protest against black people and Asians. All blacks and all Asians is what you said.
Well, 95% of them are problematic people.
How did you get to 95%, sir?
It's been proven statistics.
Where? Who? Show me. Tell me. You got in the car and you drove all those hours up to Middlesbrough to go and protest something that you can't evidence, for which there is no evidence to say they're 95% of the problem.
Well, this is what I've read.
Where?
On the internet, I've read it.
Do you take what you've read on the internet that 95% of black and Asian people are the problem? You take that as a fact?
You know what's funny? Imagine doing an assignment, right? You reference that. 95% of the problem in the UK is immigrants. Reference, brackets, the internet. Do you know how diabolical it is? Let's take black people out, because people might say I'm biased. Let's remove black people. Do you know how diabolical it is for a British person to want Asians to leave the country? Do you know how truly ridiculous that is? Do you know what Great Britain done to India for 300 years? Some of the most violent and heinous acts. Genocide they committed against the Indians, leaving their people to starve. I always tell people this, and I feel like this is common sense, but I'll say it anyway. The bigger the country, the more resources. Therefore, the richer the country should be. Any big country that is poor is down to corruption. There's some form of corruption going on. Now, there are outliers. There are small countries that have, maybe they have oil, or they have a cobalt, like in Congo, right? Which is the richest country in the world based on resources. It's not the biggest. There are outliers. But generally speaking, bigger means richer. India is one of the biggest countries in the world. But yet it's only just rising. Because Britain sucked the life out of the country. Literally sucked the life out of the country. So of course, Indians are coming over here because you've killed their country. And now you're telling them to leave. But again, uneducated. They wouldn't know this. The British as someone who went to school in the Caribbean, the British educational system, there were things that I learned in year 10 that I was doing over here in college. The British educational system sucks. You walk around in the UK, multicultural. You've been to the doctor, you've been to the corner shop, you've been out and about, and you've walked past black people, Asian people, Arab people. You've walked past these people and had no problems. How can you believe that 95% of them are the problem? You're dumb.
Well, if they're illegal, they've got to go. But if they're not? When you say then if they're not illegal, but you know, there's so many people now, foreign nationals, are getting British citizenship. I mean, that's got to stop. They're just handing out British citizenship like confetti.
My grandfather, and this is the story for my grandfather, and this is the story for a lot of Caribbean people, was invited over to the UK in the late 50s after the Second World War. There weren't enough men. Too many had died. So they were inviting the highest skilled laborers to come over here and help rebuild the country alongside white folk. My grandfather came here, he was elated. A chance at a better life. Comes here, what does he see? No Irish, no blacks, no dogs. Huh? But you invited me here and they're discriminating against me? This doesn't make any sense. But he came and he done his job and he brought his wife over and he brought his kids over. When you speak about immigrants and how you want them to go away and we're giving out British citizenship willy-nilly, just understand that you are talking about people who helped rebuild your country.
You need to get them all off. Okay, that's mad. Okay, so wait, off our streets?
Yeah.
So
they're our streets.
And they're taking our jobs?
Yeah, they're taking our houses, they're taking the lot.
And they took your teeth as well?
Yeah, they did.
Do not travel to the UK right now. If you haven't already seen, the UK is a complete and utter mess right now. There are riots going on all over the country, and these are anti-Muslim riots and anti-immigrant riots. And this is essentially where these far-right groups are attacking mosques and Muslim-run businesses, as well as hotels that currently have migrants vacant. If you haven't already seen any of the videos or the footage of any of these riots, it's absolutely outrageous, and it's an absolute utter mess right now here. So if you're traveling right now, if you live in the UK and you're currently traveling, don't be in a rush to come back. And if you've been thinking about traveling and you do want to go backpack traveling over to the other side of the world, like Southeast Asia, now is the perfect time to go. I highly recommend it. At this moment in time, it is most likely going to be much safer out in Southeast Asia than it is in the UK right now.
I'd have to agree. You know, I've had so many videos saved over these past 3 days. I wish I would have done this video earlier. They've removed all the videos now. All the riots, you know, women, Muslim women having their hijabs ripped off for no other reason than the fact that they're Muslim. Gangs, thugs attacking black men in the street. Not in my lifetime have we ever seen anything like this. To an extent, other than the fact that there's damages and a lot of people's livelihoods are being, you know, destroyed, a lot of people's shops, etc. Other than all that, I'm happy that the racists are coming out, because me personally, I don't know how other people feel. I like to know who my enemy is. I like it. Show me, tell me how you feel, because for so long, these people have been hiding and being very covert with the racism, making a lot of people feel like they're crazy, but we know what it is. We've always known.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now